So, hi, let's talk about creativity. Recently, I've been reading this book, The Creative Act of Being by Rick Rubin. I'm on page 101. I've read very little of it, but still, like every time I'm reading it, I have some or the other things to share because I kind of summarized the entire page or entire three chapters into one, and my mind is like, oh, it makes so much sense. So, today, let's discuss the 5 ways that you can use to boost up your creativity. Take control of your life. So, when I say take control of your life, I'm not saying, control everything. I'm saying take that freedom to control it. Like, if you want to have dinner at 5 p.m., 7 p.m., or 2 a.m., no one is asking you why, when, what. You know what you'd want to do. So that instantly boosts up your creativity, because I have seen that creative ideas, like right now it is 9:20, creative ideas just come like this, and you need to be in that zone. Like, if I have to create something, I'm not asking someone else to, don't do their work, or I'm not disturbing someone else, and my life is not impacted by someone else as well. So that was the first point. Coming on to the second one, I've made notes because I was like, I really want to get this structure going on. So, second is living in an artful way. Now, this is one of the ways that Rick Rubin suggested, and I got more into it as in what is the artful way of living. So basically, he's saying is that we are paying more attention to what is up around us. So already our attention span is so less. So what we need to do is really take care of the things and of the decision that we are taking around us, or that are being taken around us. There was this very interesting thing I read last night also, which was about when you go out to get inspiration, or when you go out, to feel like you need to create something, and the four walls are not helping. So sometimes people take inspiration like in isolated places, but in nature, like they would go in forests, or they'll sit on the riverside, which is so tough to get, by the way. But they'll try in their head, that's how it works. On the other hand, there are some people who tend to go to a very busy street and just, sit in a cafe or something and watch people go by, and that inspires them to create something. And I feel that like both of these ways are so different, yet they are so much like all related to attention to your thoughts. Even on a busy street, you're like paying attention to the people, and your thoughts are automatically building up. And when you are on a riverside, you are consistently thinking about what you're thinking, about what is going and coming in your head. So living in an artful way is like actually consciously doing something, which in turn impacts on how you're thinking, which in turn impacts on how good you are with your thoughts. And also, there are like third kind of people who are absolutely not living in an artful way, and those are like sleepwalking throughout the day. They have no idea what's up around them. They are on an automate mode, where they're doing things to pay their bills and live their life and pay their bills and process yet again. So if you're living that kind of life and you want to be creative, possibility is you do not really want to be creative, you just want to be called as a creative. Coming to the third point, which is very important, and it may sound really harsh to you as an audience, but the third point is which is by Rick Rubin, by the way, which was such an interesting concept. I haven't heard many artists and creatives talk like this, because they're always like, how will I be taken care of, and things like that. So basically, it is the audience comes last. Now, why am I saying this? Don't take it the wrong way. The audience comes last is equal to what the audience is demanding of yourself, or what they want to see online, could be lesser than what they deserve to see, and what they have no idea is even building in the world. The exact line is, when the audience wants is not the best things that they can get, which is so interesting. So whenever you're trying to make a content and you're like, will they like it, will they not like it, you need to behave like they need it. This needs to be put out in the world. The audience comes last, the content comes first. Even audience doesn't know, like something like this exists on the internet, and the video will find you, the song will find you, the music you're producing will find out, and things like that. Coming on to the fourth, which is understanding different perspectives. This I have learned also throughout the years of my life, where I've realized that whenever like someone doesn't agree with you, you tend to argue. And I have stopped doing that when I understood this one concept of perspectives. So as a creative or living in an artful way or really boosting up your creativity, you need to have what do you want to put out in the world could be controversial, and what other people are saying is just their perspective, just their opinion. You do not need to argue on that or agree on that or disagree on that. It could be just there. So as a person who's creative, we need to listen to all these perspectives. If we are not even open to listening to perspectives, then we are not a creative. So to be a creative, be open to listen to different perspectives. Coming to the fifth one, which is the last one, again very important: put in the work. Putting in the work is the crux of it all, which I feel when you are doing the other four things, it's easy to put in the work. Of course, paying attention to what you pay attention to is the crux of all of it. There is this one tip that Rick Rubin gives, which is write and record everything. Like many of us tend to not take journal with us like I always do, and the thoughts come and go, and sometimes they are really interesting ideas and they just come and go and they are gone and you will never see them again, and things like that. So record and write everything, and through this process will come a time when you will be like, oh, this is what success feels like, and it could be anything to like personally and individually what it means to you. Also, one last thing, never say that you can't do it. Always be like, I haven't done it yet. Be it any kind of sport, be it any kind of creation, you can be like, I haven't done it yet, I haven't been exposed to this kind of thing yet, and just things just work out that way. So I feel that these 5 ways were really interesting as a reader, also to myself, like how different steps could really impact on how you're feeling as a creative, and your creativity can really be boosted through it. So that's it. I'll see you in the next video. I think you enjoyed this video because this was really interesting to shoot as well. I'll see you in the next video.